Okay, hey, this is Frank Alexander with the Dallas Renegades, and this is the XFL show.
More burger for the love of football. 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 Let's go.
If you smell what the XFL is cooking.
Welcome, football fans. This is For the Love of Football. This is the road to 2022, and this is the XFL show. I'm Alan.
And I'm Bryant.
This week, we're thankful for the uncrowned MVP. We're thankful for thank you letters from the league. And we're thankful for just being able to still talk XFL with you during what feels like the longest year on record. We're here. We're thankful. It's episode 146, and we're redefining we're just defining what undefeated starting quarterbacks are. Brian, what are you doing here? I'm doing the audio gimmicks here, and are you opening up another Tops pack here?
Well, you said you're thankful for that. Alan, I'm so thankful for this pack of cards. You have no idea.
What'd you get, a Winston Moss? Oh, a Bob
Signed.
Damn.
Bob Stoops in marker.
Damn.
That's in marker.
Try rubbing it off.
No, I'm not going to rub it off. It's permanent. Ooh, I'm excited for that one.
I should rephrase that. Never mind. Not a good way to start the show. Hey, here we are, episode 146. It's Thanksgiving week, Brian.
Tasty touchdowns?
No tasty touchdowns this year. Last year, this time, we got our XFL footballs in the mail. Damn, I knew I forgot something coming down to the in-laws for the holiday. You know, I'm all out of it. This show's being recorded later and later because Bryant, with the first baby of the XFL, I've got in-laws. It's like, are you ready to do the show yet? No, I got to put my baby to bed. Yeah, I got to put the in-laws to bed. So then it's like 1 a.m., and that's why these shows have been the best. And this is going to be a good one.
XFL After Dark.
XFL After Dark, another PJ party. I am in pajamas. I sleep in a Godzilla shirt, and I'm also ready for PJ Walker talk, baby. Some more of it after another victory for the uncrowned XFL MVP. Bryant going to be talking a whole lot of that today.
That is something that we've been clamoring for quite some time, and I'm kind of glad it happened. We'll get it all into PJ Walker and that undefeated quarterback of him.
Yes, we will. And also a controversial tweet from you, Bryant, that is going to make for a fun hot read. 724-5654-XFL is the number to call anytime. Leave a voicemail, send us a text. Standard text messaging rates do apply, but that is the XFL fan line. That is your way to be heard by all the other XFL fans and be on the show. So call it anytime, leave a voicemail, send us a text, and we'll talk about it or play it right here on the air. Of course, social media is where all the action happens mostly. At XFL Show is where you can hit us up there on all the different social media platforms. And of course, Bryant, did you know that this week we are brought to you by Pretty Easy Podcasts? Once again, helping this show come together even at 1 a.m., because that's what they do. You go to prettyeasypodcast.com. You get your own podcast producer to help you do your show on your schedule, the way you want to do it, and make it easy for you so you just focus on doing the show and not all the fancy stuff with the audio editing and whatnot and the video. You do it the way you want to do it at prettyeasypodcast.com. And usually the way everyone wants to do a podcast, Brian, is it has to be fun and it has to not be a headache. And that's the most important thing there because they have a great slogan that kind of encapsulates all that together.
Making podcasting pretty easy.
That's prettyeasypodcast.com. All right. If you're ready to dink and dunk real quick around the happenings this week, Bryant, first off, did you get the thank you letter from the XFL?
I did. Did you?
I did. So that was nice. That was at least
they were
little
thinking
acknowledgement.
of me when they sent it, I'm sure.
Of you specifically?
Yeah, I mean, it felt very personalized.
It did. Did it say, "Hey Bryant, how's the baby? What
Yes.
is your football? Do you need us to send you a new football like we sent you last year, wrapped up like a turkey?"
Okay, maybe not so special, but it's still pretty nice to hear from the league.
And it was nice. The league reached out. I love it. I told you, I called it. Not because of that, but because of PJ. But I said this would be the most XFL talk you'll get from non-XFL freaks, Bryant, that you've had in a while, at least since The Rock bought and Dany Garcia bought the league. And there it was. People who were following the league but maybe fell off, the news feed for it, reached out to me this week and said, "Hey, I got a email from the league. Are they still around?" And I said, "Yes, 2022, and the show's still on. You better be subscribing." And I wish I could go out and meet strangers. I'd grab their phones and I would subscribe to the podcast myself for them and hand it back and be like, "All right, follow." But at least these emails are going out.
No, it is, and it's the XFL's out there. It's trying to keep its name relevant. Good for them, whatever it may be. A tweet every once in a while we hear from them. Again, I think, Alan, it's just people are so spoiled. People jumped on this bandwagon when the XFL was something. They weren't used to it when the XFL was just kind of a seed, and so every glimpse of hope, it turns into something that might be something bigger. But it'll all come within time.
That email did give me some kind of anxiety, though, because it does mention, right, that we've got a ton of different announcements coming, and it felt like, yeah, I know you do, and you're going to send them all at me at once. I feel like a lot of the announcements are going to go boom, boom, bap, bap, and this show is going to be like, damn it, we got to put it all in front of us and try to inhale all of this, try to digest it, not scarf it like I'm going to do on Thanksgiving tomorrow, where this show's coming out after Thanksgiving, but full disclosure, that's not how we're going to do the XFL announcements. We're going to really savor them, but I feel like they're going to come ba 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 ba.
Well, it depends on how long they wait for them, right? Because I think last time they said rulebook end of summer. It didn't happen until almost January, I believe, right before training camp. Team names got pushed a little bit. We'll see. How much can they really announce, Alan, other than confirm? I would think would be more appropriate at this point.
A lot of confirmations, but also some announcements for personnel. And oh man, we can't get into all the things we're waiting to hear about. Locations again. Pretty
things
sure
we don't even know
names.
what we want to hear, right?
Yeah, exactly. Then all the other stuff that we don't know about that they're probably planning that they're going to be special. So, man, that was just nice getting that email. Just if you hadn't kept it in front of you, you got that email, and maybe there are probably people who got that email, Brian, who are like, "Oh, damn, I want to check if the XFL show's still on my podcast feed," and they're coming back to us this week. Welcome back. Thank you. Tell your friends. Tell your
we're
family.
thankful for you.
When you're on your Zoom Thanksgiving's over, but now if you're showing everyone what you got on Black Friday on a Zoom, tell them to subscribe to the show on YouTube or their favorite podcast platform. Spread the word, baby. All right, what about this, though? What about this? All the love PJ Walker's getting and all the hype after last week's show, that last weekend the Panthers shutting out the Lions. I guess PJ Walker played well enough for the defense to shut out the Lions, but, man, the Lions are really bad. Here we go. A tweet at Nelson Abrams, Bryant, is playing PJ Walker and Donald Parham in his Dynasty League. Represent the XFL. He did say that this team is tanking the rest of their season, though, because he's already out of it. But, hey, if this is a Dynasty League, that means there's still a place for these players next season. That's a good strategy. I like that. Good pickups, Nelson.
So Dynasty, right? Your picks carry over from season to season. Is that how it works?
Keeper, yeah.
Yeah.
Keeper style.
I didn't know if you actually needed to draft either one of these players. I mean, you probably could have got them in free agency. That's how under the radar they fly. I don't know. Who did the Panthers play this week? I'm not even sure. Panthers
I didn't even look.
At Minnesota.
I don't know, whoever they are, the PJ's beating them. I know that.
At Minnesota, and then LA plays I don't even know where I didn't even see them on the screen. It doesn't matter. As long as there's a goal line play at the end of the game, I think you can get 6 points there from Donald Parham. So good on you.
If there's a goal,
I'm digging
if there
it.
is a goal line play though with PJ Walker though, after last week, you might want to hold your breath, or don't hold your breath.
They're at
but
Buffalo.
Thanks for the tweet, Nelson, and good luck to you in your Dynasty League. I'm not in any of those or keeper leagues, Brian, but if I was, I think my team name would be Keeper Sutherland. What do you think?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keeper
like
Sutherland.
I like it. And I like this.
You
week's
thought of
cover,
that
too. No, it just popped in my head, but that would be my team name. I think it's because I just watched The Lost Boys. Let's go. Let's play. Let's real quick. We're gonna play. I had. Well, I guess I'll mention it now. I had planned not to even mention it, but we were gonna have a guest this week, is instead of the cover two. But the cover two is gonna be great right now. But we were gonna have a guest, and then I made the call to reschedule it because I am not only a great friend, a generous co-host, a thoughtful tag team podcast partner, but I was thinking of Bryant, and I said to our special guest we were going to have this week, who's one of your favorite and our favorite XFL players, former XFL player, I said, you know what? Maybe we should reschedule for next week, even though we wanted to do it today, because Bryant couldn't make it at the time we had planned. And so I was like, if you'll oblige, my partner really wants to talk to you. And, of course, this generous XFL player who we know and love said, no problem, man. So next week we'll have him, Bryant, and I did that for you. So,
Alan, I don't know if you realize that I have access to the conversations you have with said player, but basically it went, no sweat. I can send a link in 10 minutes. My co-host Brian won't be able to make it, but it's all good. And then he said, no problem, we can reschedule. So I think you were ready to ditch me.
No.
And he said, let's reschedule. That's what I'm reading here.
This is why you can never...
Maybe you should use a secure network next time.
Texts and DMs are really difficult to get context. And that's why I feel bad for like the couples that break up over a text or something. You're reading that wrong. That's not how it was spoken when I dictated it out loud.
Gotcha.
I said...
Sounded like you were ready to go. And you were saying,
my tone was, I can
don't worry about him.
10 minutes, but my partner will make it. But whatever for you, Mr.
No sweat, I will send a link in 10. We don't need Bryant, is basically what I got out of that.
Well, let's move on to the cover two. Next week we'll have him on, and we'll forget all about that, Bryant. And it's going to be just know it'll be an exciting interview for sure next week. But on to this week's cover two.
6 to the boy! 6 to the boy!
PJ Walker has done it again, Bryant. He is undefeated. Undefeated. How's it go? Undefeated. Won again. 20-0 over the Detroit Lions. Snapped a 5-game losing streak, too. For the
not his own
Panthers.
Yeah, not his own.
No, because he
continued a 5-game winning streak. Actually, if you ask me,
to 6. That's to 6 to match his number.
6 to the board.
6 to the board. 6 went to the board once. Touchdown throw. And 2 interceptions for PJ, but that's because he was probably feeling it, probably a little too antsy at the goal line, trying to really push through and get that 6 to the board. That can't happen again. Matt Rule said as much. But 24-34, 258. His defense shut out the opponent. And those interceptions were at the goal line, which didn't give the Lions great field position. I guess to look on the bright side of that. So good effort and good performance for PJ, stepping in for Teddy Bridgewater, and it's awesome. And I read this cool article.
Oh, go ahead, Al. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knew that would happen. He'd be undefeated in 2020. But I read this cool article, Brian. I don't know if it was the Charlotte Observer or something after the game, but basically said PJ Walker's mom had dreamt he played for the Panthers way back when he was an Indianapolis Colt playing behind Andrew Luck. She told him, I had a dream and you were playing for the Panthers. And look, it came true, and he won. So a magical, magical weekend for P.J. Walker and all XFL fans, I'm pretty sure, who are enjoying that. Even if you were a Dallas Renegades fan, you have to enjoy seeing P.J. Walker win in the NFL. Feels good.
Yeah, it feels like one of our own, right, going out there. I mean, if anybody expected, 354 touchdowns, no interceptions, and like 95% completion percentage, I think that was insane. He did what a suitable backup's supposed to do, right? Go in there, not lose the game, which he didn't lose the game. You're right. 2 interceptions, but they weren't on his own goal line, right? They were on the other team's goal line. So there's perspective there, and a backup quarterback is supposed to go in there and be sufficient. And that's what he did for his first start ever, I think, in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if he ever got another one. I doubt it. So here he is. And I think for most of us, it was just a surreal moment to see one of our own go in there and be successful.
And do you think Matt Rule listens to the show?
He either
After
listens
we
to the
for PJ to play.
He either listens to the show or June Jones listens to the show and made sure to call.
I'm wondering what the hell you're doing in this league.
As we suggested.
Actually, that sort of probably happened. I think June Jones probably was listening to the show. Shout out, Coach Jones. We love you and can't wait to take your class. June Jones hit up Rule and said, just play the kid. He's going to do it for you. Teddy's 80%. Let him rest, and maybe PJ will win the job outright, which I still believe can happen, Bryant. But most of all, joking aside, what this means, not even for PJ Walker, not for the Carolina Panthers or any of that, what this means, most importantly, is that the XFL is that place that we talked about it being. It's that place where if you're a football player, you can go continue to play football, either make a living there doing it, or just keep playing until you get to another opportunity. It means you don't have to go into the stay-at-home workforce that the rest of us are in, that you don't want to be joining when you know you still have some ball left in you. PJ Walker, a talent like that, almost fallen by the wayside in the football world, but then along comes the XFL, and look at him, back in it in a backup role, and now he's starting, winning games. That's the magic of the XFL, and it's still there, and it's really, I think, a great selling point, the selling point to any player thinking about playing in 2022.
Yeah, it's. I think that is the selling point, and it's always been, is you get the opportunity to play football professionally again. Now, whether you continue that career in the XFL or you get another shot in the NFL, that's the reality of it. So PJ Walker's making the most of his opportunity. There are so many players, even going back to the AAF, that are still on practice squads or even playing on active rosters today. And that's all you can really ask for as a player who's going to play in the XFL, is for a chance to continue to play football professionally, whether it is in the NFL or the XFL.
I loved it. I watched the game on the iPad. It was on at the same time as the Steeler game, and I couldn't get mother-in-law to put PJ on the big screen, so I had to put PJ on the iPad, but I was giving her commentary. PJ's going, he's at the goal line again. Oh, he threw an interception, but PJ's winning. PJ threw a touchdown. PJ's handled it. And that makes her really think highly of the XFL too. So it was a great day all around. Plus the Steelers won, PJ undefeated, Big Ben undefeated. We're going to get into that a little bit later, Brian, but a awesome weekend if you were an XFL fan and a fan of PJ Walker. It was great. And now we're going into this weekend, and this show's dropping Friday, Black Friday, right, Bryant? Like normal?
Yes, sir.
So we're full disclosure, recording early wee hours of Thanksgiving morning. So by the time you hear this, you might already know what this next surprise is. But Dany Garcia, part 2 of our cover 2, tweeting out something very intriguing here, Bryant.
Back to work we go.
And it looks like with the email we got this week and this tweet from one of the owners of the league, some XFL activity and some acknowledgement to the fans from the league office. This is pretty exciting. Let's pull up this Dany Garcia tweet if we can here and read it here. Squinting at us. That's our owner right there, squinting at us. What's she squinting for, Bryant? She's squinting because, well, maybe her and The Rock have a little something special dropping our way midnight Black Friday in appreciation of the love and support of the XFL universe. Is that the first time we've got an XFL universe from new league owners? Can we start using that? Is that TM'd? Can we start using that?
Support our XFL 2022 universe. Okay.
Let's get it. Let's get the graphics for next week, Bryant. Let's get that set. The XFL universe is being spoken to. We've been doing that. We've been a part of it since day one, so we're loving it. And this announcement, by the time most people hear this, they might know what it is already, Bryant, but let's speculate anyway. What do you think it is? Is it an announcement? Is it a free T-shirt? Is it a free hat? Is it a free calendar? What are we getting? Is it?
It's a discount.
Like big news
on the XFL shop, right? It's got to be what it is.
90% off all Dallas Renegades sneakers. Do they have sneakers?
Sneakers.
Hats.
Game worn boots by.
We are auctioning off Jerry Glanville's sunglasses with the proceeds going to charity.
The Winston Moss Terry towel.
Yeah, I would buy it and I would wear it. I would put it in the side pocket there. Oh no,
there hasn't been any really updates to. I mean, every once in a while I'll pop on the shop just to see if they had any updates or anything like that. There hasn't really been anything in quite some time. So
I went in the shop last week actually, thinking of early holiday shopping. What can I get? I want to get family members and friends some XFL gear. It was all still full price, so I am hoping that some of that might be coming down at least for Black Friday. That'd be nice. Most of it was full price from what I saw.
A big thing that says all sales are final, no returns or exchanges will be accepted. I was kind of mad because right before the bankruptcy, I spent like $150 on some gear. And
that's great, collector's item, even if it never came back ever.
Didn't have to spend anything on this football though. This was
that was
a gift.
Very thankful. That was a tasty treat last year. But this Black Friday deal, whatever it is, I don't know. I'm hoping it's just some good gear. That's less than 24 hours from this live on tape recording, Brian. So I guess I'm gonna be up again because I'm waiting, clicking. I'm looking for. I got 3 goals on Black Friday. New iPhone because this is 5 years old.
What? Wow. Yours still has a button.
I take care of my stuff, but it's slow. XFL Black Friday, and then the last thing I want to get is what was it? One of those big fancy hard drives to keep all of the files that we have, because now we're working a lot of video into our show. And I want to be able to have all the room for all the assets, they call them, for the show. Maybe some new microphones too. Can never have enough new mics. Even though this fancy new mic I got here, I can lean back and do the show now.
It just sounds like your hands all over it. Just like,
oh, do you hear the shuffling?
Yes.
See, that's why Black Friday I got to get the one that kills all that sound.
I kind of want something that rotates like back and forth like this to show off the ball during the broadcast.
We should invest in You're saying we should invest in our set. You're right.
Yeah, maybe that.
I should get a green screen.
A little stipend to improve our office.
I should get a green screen so everyone doesn't have to look at my in-laws.
This is great advertising space, by the way, if anybody's interested.
It is. You should. Well, I don't know why you don't have a prettyeasypodcast.com banner back there. They help us out a lot.
That's true.
The XFL Black Friday will be active.
Yeah, and hopefully there'll be something good, at least an update, maybe perhaps. Now, Alan, will you read anything into it if a certain team's jerseys go on sale and another one's don't? Or
oh yeah. if one is cheaper than the other, if all of a sudden a Tampa Bay Vipers is an 80% discount and the Wildcats and then the Houston Roughnecks is only 20, something's up there. and maybe we'll be informed.
It could just be an excess of inventory.
It might be. We'll see. Because maybe that goes into part 2.5-ish of our cover too, which I don't know if you confirm this anywhere else, Bryant, but XFL News Hub, they are reporting that the XFL has agreed to a new lease at Globe Life Park, home of the Dallas Renegades, and this seems to be kind of a George Carlin bit to me, because I was reading it and they're saying that the XFL is paying a new premium to basically store their stuff at Globe Life Park, which is great. Yeah, you need to keep your stuff somewhere. That's what George Carlin said. You move from one place because you got more stuff, so you got to get a bigger place to put all your stuff in, and then you go place to place with your stuff. And XFL needs a place to store their stuff. Looking into this, does this new lease mean that the Renegades are going to be a part of this, or is this just going to be a place where they store stuff? Or I don't know. It's just a legal document, or a lease document that they obtained and are reporting on. But I guess if you're a Renegades fan, that's reason to have hope that the team will stick around and be playing there in 2022. We don't know about Bob Stoops coaching that team, but what do you think of that news?
Well, if you think about all the different stadiums the XFL was using, the stadium in Dallas was the only one that wasn't really being used by another professional team. Well, I guess you had the St. Louis one. But they don't have a team, right?
That is really the lowest blow you've had on this show in a long time, and for that, I'm gonna come back at you, just so you remember what the law is around here. Proceed.
But Globe Life Park, Globe Life Park, isn't really used by anybody. The Rangers have their own stadium now, so I guess it makes sense to use their storage facility. Maybe they use that for their central hub. Houston seemed to be the go-to before, so maybe Dallas becomes that also going forward.
Yeah, we don't really know, but this looks to be legit. Who knows? Maybe they just want to store stuff there, but there won't be a team playing there. We don't know. This doesn't officially say anything, but again, informing you of all the different news going on, what people are talking about regarding the XFL. Rumor, innuendo, sure, some of it. We'll dip our toe into a little bit of it, but here's hoping. Like I've said, I am a proponent. I want all the teams from 2020 to remain in their cities and go at it again in 2022. How realistic that is, we don't really have a gauge for yet, Bryant. But I do know that in 2022, I have a feeling Tom Brady's going to be wanting to play in the XFL because he's sick of the NFL rules. He's tired of there not being a double forward pass. There's no double forward pass in the NFL, and he tried it this week, but it's just not the XFL, Tom. He's got to learn.
Now, I think we saw this twice in the XFL. I think Cardell, maybe. I know Landry did it one time. It might have been Cardell. I forget who the other one was who did it. But to see it done by Tom Brady and then talked about as if it was never been done before was kind of astonishing to me. I think it's fair to say, Alan, you tell me, it would have been really cool if that play counted. And I think everyone understands that, and that's maybe what the XFL was expecting with their double forward pass rule.
If it was thrown by anyone except Tom Brady.
Jake and Vince texted me because the Rams were playing Tampa Bay. They never text me when it comes to sports and saying good luck. And I was like, it must be a Tom Brady hate thing because these guys never text me saying go Rams.
Yeah, they don't like Tom Brady. But I text you sometimes, ram it, just for fun, because it's fun to say.
Yeah.
And I have nothing against that team. But Tom Brady, I do. A lot. I hope he comes to the XFL so I have someone to root against in the league.
And then, it makes you feel any better. Tom Brady didn't even complete that pass. Now, was it an illegal forward pass? Was it a forward lateral? I guess it's the same thing, right?
Yeah, I forget what the official ruling was.
Illegal forward pass that was declined because he still didn't get the first down.
Yeah.
But
either way, no catch. Also, real quick, NFLers in the or XFLers in the NFL. Gio Bernard did not practice today, Bryant, and Joe Mixon already out for the Bengals. So that means practice squatter has been there the whole time since the season started. Jacques Patrick might get a shot in the NFL with the Bengals, so keep an eye out on that. One of the best big backs in the XFL earlier this year might get a chance to tote the rock for a team that is completely going to be giving up on the season when it comes to battling for anything. Their quarterback's out for the year. They've got injuries in the backfield. So huge opportunities for guys like that. We'll see if they maybe even pick up more XFL players in Cincinnati. That's the kind of situation where opportunities arise. So we'll keep our eye out for that for sure. Not quite putting Jacques on my fantasy team yet, but who knows? Maybe he'll be a touchdown eater, a vulture. We'll see with the big back body like that. Dude could crush some people. Yeah, some big games, big runs, big truck stick moments in the XFL.
You were a big Jacques Patrick fan. You were.
I loved him. Oh, one of my favorite players for sure. And if you're ready, I'm ready, Bryant. It's well, you're the one who has to be ready here.
I'm ready.
You have to be ready here because cover 2 in the books, and now the moment has come where you have to kind of defend a tweet. And I'm going to
defend your tweet.
This is not my tweet.
Why would I put Ben Roethlisberger in a tweet?
Because you respect someone who has not lost a football game. Now, I'm going to back you up here. I got your back here, but just know
it's a lot of back.
This is going to be, a lot of people might not agree with what you said here and might not agree with how you defend yourself, just so you know.
Okay. Well, just put your finger on the drop button, just so you know.
Let's do it. The dump button is ready. I'm ready to defend my friend, his tweet. What makes a starting quarterback a starting quarterback? An undefeated starting quarterback at that. It's time for this week's Hot Read. All right, Bryant. Let's pull it up. Your tweet. Here it is for the world to see again. After P.J. Walker won against the Lions, you tweeted out, P.J. Walker and Big Ben are the only undefeated starters in professional football in 2020. I'm with you, but some people did not like that. Particularly Saints fans, some Dolphins fans, and a couple just, I don't know, maybe people who just like disagreeing with you, don't like Big Ben, don't like PJ, I don't know. But I think you're onto something, and I think you're correct when you say this. Those are the only two starting quarterbacks that are undefeated in 2020, if you ask me. So I'm with you.
Yeah, I what's funny is I never tweet out. You know how people put the little period in front of the name so that it doesn't look like a reply, it's an actual tweet? I never do that. I hate doing that. And there's always a reason for it. Never figured out why. It's probably because I just shouldn't tweet those types of tweets. Either way, I'm standing by my tweet only because I think we all can admit that Tua was going to lose. We all knew that. And tight ends don't count. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, tight ends, you say, Taysom Hill, yeah. I mean, I played him as a tight end this year. I played him as, I think, a receiver. Played him as a running back. Taysom Hill's not a starting quarterback. As soon as Drew Brees heals himself, and the ribs, get well soon, Drew, That's not Taysom Hill's job. Tua got benched. Starting quarterbacks don't get benched. He got benched. Tua's not a starting quarterback until can do what no one has ever been able to do. Get rid of Ryan Fitzpatrick, which no one can do, ever. You can't do that. So Tua, not a starting quarterback yet, if you ask me. Maybe he will be one day, sure. PJ Walker. We don't know when Teddy Bridgewater's coming back. If he's coming back. He won the game. He started it. He wasn't benched. He's listed as a quarterback on the depth chart and not any other position. That's a starting quarterback. We all know Big Ben's undefeated, 10-0. Big Ben is the starting quarterback of all starting quarterbacks. But in 2020, PJ Walker, close second, the only other undefeated.
Yeah, I said undefeated
How do you argue
starters. Starters, not guys who get benched and not guys who start at other positions. It just doesn't make any sense. Here's my problem with this. Whatever. The tweet can be whatever. I don't care. I was in the moment. I was having PJ won. Big Ben, I wanted to give your props because, Big Ben's earned it 10-0. Okay? And this, get the dump button ready. The dump button ready. I am not a fan of people coming out of the woodwork to shit on the league. To shit on PJ Walker. That is absolutely ridiculous. Don't call yourself an XFL fan and shit on my tweet. Don't do that. Don't do that. Live in the moment.
People were dropping trow on you because it was an XFL player you were praising, you think?
I don't care. If you're following the account, it's because you like the XFL. We didn't get one congratulations to PJ Walker except from you. The only thing we got was people saying, fact check, also Tua and whatever. Get out of here. Go on. Get out of here. You're wrong. You're wrong.
I don't want to talk anymore.
I don't think it was an anti-XFL response.
No.
I think that's people love fact
No, it's not an
checking.
anti-XFL. It's not an anti-XFL response. But this is a moment of celebration, not to fact check people.
Yes, exactly. He's right about that. Don't drop trow on the tweet. How about instead pick up our guy and say, great job, give him praise. That's what it's about. That's what Bryant's getting at. Also, Bryant was correct because those two facts aren't really facts because, I'm in Miami right now. I'll go out with a bullhorn since social distancing and just ask the neighbors, do you think Tua's a starting quarterback yet? And I'm pretty sure 7 out of 10 will say no. But other than that, Bryant's right. This is about picking up PJ, saying, yes, you did it, man. We did it. XFL fandom. We pushed for him starting. Matt Rule heard our voices. Thanks for listening to the show, Coach Rule.
Si se puede.
We'll pat ourselves on the back a little bit for
hashtag put in PJ.
Riding PJ's coattails.
Do you think PJ felt like he had the entire XFL on his back during that game?
No, I don't think so. I hope not. Hope he didn't think about that at all.
Pressure, right?
I think he probably just thought about man, I balled out in the XFL. I could do it here. I could do it here. I could do it here. I know I can do it. I could do this. I belong here. I'm sure he said that a lot to himself. I belong here. I belong here.
He did it, by the way, in an offense that isn't catered to his skill set. I will put that out as well.
Mention that. Yeah, we said that last week. Teddy Bridgewater, total different quarterback. Joe Brady set this thing up for him, not PJ Walker. And that's why maybe you get goal line interceptions that you have to fix.
Yeah. The play is PJ drop it, then pick it up, dust it off, and then run into the end zone. That's the play he should have been calling, not interceptions.
Yeah.
Play fast, do it again.
That's the thing to do. Maybe they'll correct that this week. Against, who did you say, Minnesota?
Yes.
So, do you feel like your tweet has been sufficiently defended? I do. I think you really...
I think it was defended at the very beginning.
Swatted those fact checkers out of the way. Sorry.
Man, I can't believe people would come out of the woodwork just to... People who don't tweet for months come in and just say, come on, get out of here. You're not supposed to...
I want to know, where is this woodwork, and who are these people in the woodwork in the first place? And why can't they just stay in the woodwork, especially with something that's supposed to be this joyous?
Stop hitting your microphone. Jeez.
I can't
Pretty
help
easy
it.
podcast. How much
Easy
longer are you at
podcast.
the studio?
Oh, undetermined amount of time. That's another topic. That maybe next week's cover too. If this Black Friday announcement isn't any good, Brian, I don't know. But a good hot read there. I got your back.
Thank you. I appreciate
just like
that.
I
I'm
did-
sure
just
if
like
Vince
I
or
did
Jake
in-
were on here, they would not have been as gracious as you were with the cut with
They
their boy.
Well, I think they probably would have said that Ben is the only starting quarterback who's undefeated,
It's very true.
which also has more merit than the other way around, I'll say.
PJ's
But-
span lasts. It goes way longer. He's been undefeated since February.
Yeah, he's the only quarterback who played in February and in November and still hasn't lost. It's true. 100% true. All right. Well, that's a good hot read. And I feel like you defended your tweet well, just like I defended your being on the show for next week and my DM. We both had to.
I'll get back to you. Thank you for
atone.
having my back there as well too, sir. I appreciate it.
We had to atone for some social media stuff we did, but we both, I think, came out of that clean, which is not easy to do in 2020, but we did it. Good job, buddy. Anything we got to let the people know here? At XFL Show, right? That's the social media handle?
Yes, sir. At XFL Show, follow us Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, right? Facebook. Alan's not
Yeah,
too
we're
keen
on,
it, but you
we're
can
on
follow us there.
Facebook. Kinda. We're not, yeah. Instagram. Send me a fleet. Send me some fleets
Fleets.
on,
That's the
tweet,
new,
on Twitter.
Twitter's story.
Are we doing
you can
fleets
also-
yet?
We haven't done one yet, but I might do my Bob Stoops autograph card on the fleets next.
I think we're just scratching the surface of what we're capable of.
Well,
Maybe I'll
you
do
haven't
my,
even seen what we could do on a fleet.
Maybe I'll do my Luis Perez traded card too as well.
That's a Luis
Undefeated.
Perez Wildcats
Starter.
card.
But it says traded at the bottom. You see that?
Oh, that's awesome. That's like having a
Also undefeated, by the way, 2020. I messed up. He was also undefeated, right? As a starter?
Yeah.
He took out LA and Dallas. See?
And the AAF never made it to 2020, right?
No, they did not make it to 2020.
That was all 2019.
Yes, it was, sir. You can also subscribe to our podcast. Tell your friends about us. Catch us here every single week, Friday mornings, on your favorite podcast gimmick. That's Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you get your podcast. Tell your friends. 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. And then watch us on YouTube, youtube.com/This Is the XFL Show, the official YouTube page of This Is the XFL Show. And check out our sponsor, PrettyEasyPodcast.com.
Hell yeah. Definitely do that because we want to hear your podcast and we want you to make sure you get it done. So go there. Also, watch us on YouTube. We should do some poll questions based on the videos now since we got so many views. Bryant, like, who wears the best shirts every week? That's definitely
Brock
me.
Party.
That's so 2000 late. Godzilla is forever. No one even remembers that gimmick. Hardly. Who has the best backgrounds? Me. Oh, you know what? I just realized I forgot a sign today.
Oh,
I didn't do a sign.
who has the best signs? Not you.
It's not me this week. I was going to type something on my phone and hold it up, but it's too slow. Black Friday. I'm coming for you. All right. Yep, that's it. We got Black Friday announcement we're waiting on. And, of course, we've got
Lots of news.
lots of news that will be hitting us like a tornado, I'm sure.
Alan, if I may, as some perspective, in 2018, the XFL this coming week revealed the cities that they were going to be in for 2020. So that puts it into some perspective.
I like to do that check, that mileage check. Where were we at this point? Keep that coming. I like
That's all by
those.
memory, by the way.
He didn't look that up. That just hit him in the dome. Maybe next week we'll have another mileage check. Maybe we'll get an announcement. We don't know. All I know is the end of every show, I know this for sure, that we'll be back next week. And we'll be talking XFL with you. And we are so thankful for you still talking XFL with us after all this time. 2018, through the build-up to 2020, through half of an awesome season, a terrible, terrible 2020, but we're still here talking XFL with you, and we love and appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you for subscribing, telling your friends.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's what this is all about. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We will see you next week. For Bryant, I'm Alan. This is the XFL Show. Remember, they're listening.